Dear viewer, let me ask you something important. Have you ever wondered why Islam does not fix a single clear age for marriage like 18 or 21 like many countries and modern legal systems do? Why doesn't Islam simply say, once you reach this number, you are ready for marriage? The answer to this question is deeper and more meaningful than you may think. And this video has been made especially for you, so that you understand the truth that many people in our time have forgotten. Whether you are a young person dreaming about your future, a parent concerned for your child's marriage, or just someone who wants to know what Islam really teaches about this sacred bond, stay with me till the end, because what you are about to learn may completely change your understanding of Nikah, the beautiful, life-changing contract that Islam calls marriage. In Islam, marriage is not a simple matter of crossing a number on the calendar. It's not a race to reach 18 or 21 or any other legal age marked by the world systems. No, my friend, Islam looks much deeper. It looks into the heart, into the mind, into the very soul of a person. Because marriage is not just a contract, it is a sacred trust, a soul-binding, lifelong commitment that requires much more than just physical readiness. The true foundation for marriage in Islam is maturity, real, complete, wholesome maturity. This readiness is not measured by the candles on a birthday cake or by counting the passing years. It is measured by the wisdom in your decisions, the responsibility you can carry, the strength of your character, and the depth of your patience and understanding. Islam wants every young man and woman to step into marriage with a mind that can think clearly, a heart that can feel deeply, and a soul that can handle life's tests, not just a body that has reached the stage of puberty. In this beautiful principle is not something invented by scholars or human minds. It comes directly from the words of Allah, the Most Wise. Pay close attention to what Allah says in the Qur'an, Surah An-Nisa 4-6, and test the orphans until they reach the age of marriage. Then if you perceive in them sound judgment, release their property to them. Double quotes. This verse is filled with deep wisdom. Allah did not say, when they turn 18 or 21, they are ready. Instead, He instructed to test them, to make sure they have developed rushed sound judgment, wisdom, understanding, and the ability to make responsible decisions. It is not enough that the body is changed, or that outward signs of adulthood have appeared. No, the mind must also grow. The thinking must become clear and responsible. The heart must become steady and strong. Islam teaches us that bulu, the stage when the body becomes capable of reproduction, is only the first step, but the journey to true readiness requires something more, rushed. This means having the ability to make sensible decisions, to manage life's real responsibilities, and to handle the sacred duties that marriage brings into a person's life. So, dear viewer, when Islam speaks of marriage, it is not speaking of numbers on a page. It is speaking of your inner world, your mind, your soul. And understanding this can protect not only your life, but also the harmony of families and the moral health of society. So you see, dear viewer, when Islam talks about marriage, it is speaking to your inner world, not just the outer body. And this is why understanding this principle is so important, not only for you, but for your family, for your society, and for every young person dreaming of starting a beautiful married life. A girl may enter puberty at 13 or 14, but Islam demands more than bodily change. She must also possess mental clarity, emotional balance, self-control, and the capacity to understand the responsibilities of marital life, such as patience, cooperation, trust, compassion, and the nurturing of a family. These qualities cannot be measured by age alone. They grow from life experience, learning, and personal development. This teaching is proof that Islam is far ahead of its time, a system that does not tie human value or readiness to a number on a calendar, but instead to the actual state of a person's development. Whether someone is 14 or 24, the question is not, how old is she? But rather, is she truly prepared in mind, heart, and spirit for the serious journey of marriage? Such wisdom ensures that marriage in Islam remains a union of responsibility, mutual understanding, and peace, not one of haste, immaturity, or regret. It protects both individuals and society by requiring a balance of physical capability and mental preparedness before one steps into this lifelong covenant. The girl's willing consent, a sacred requirement in Islamic marriage. In the matter of marriage, Islam gives great and undeniable weight to the consent of the girl herself. Her free will, personal choice, and heartfelt acceptance are not minor details to be overlooked. They are at the very core of a valid Islamic marriage. Without her clear, unpressured agreement, the marriage contract loses its legitimacy in the sight of Allah. The Messenger of Allah, Prophet Muhammad, made this principle crystal clear in an authentic hadith recorded in both Sahih al-Bukhari, 5136, and Sahih Muslim, 1419, where he declared, "A virgin cannot be married without her permission." This simple yet profound statement shattered the unjust cultural practices of pre-Islamic Arabia, where girls were often married off without being asked, their voices silenced in the matter of their own futures. Islam came to restore that voice, to make sure that every girl, every woman, regardless of her age or social status, had the sacred right to say yes or no when it came to marriage. The Prophet went even further to protect this right. In several incidents during his blessed lifetime, he allowed women to annul marriages that had been arranged without their approval, sending a powerful message to the Muslim Ummah for generations to come. No man, not even the father or guardian, holds the authority to impose marriage upon a woman against her will. Her consent is not a formality to be assumed. It must be asked, given, and freely expressed. Whether the girl is young or mature in age, whether she comes from a humble household or a noble family, this right is equally binding and non-negotiable. In Islam, marriage is meant to be a union of love, respect, and mutual understanding, not a contract built on compulsion, fear, or family pressure. This divine principle safeguards a woman's honor, dignity, and personal freedom. It places her at the center of one of life's most important decisions and reminds the entire society that a marriage without the willing consent of the bride is no marriage at all in the eyes of Allah. Such teachings elevate the status of women in Islam far beyond the narrow perceptions of cultural traditions. They ensure that every Muslim girl and woman stands as a respected, decisive, and empowered individual whose life cannot be dictated without her heartfelt permission. Parental guidance in marriage, a role of respect, not control. Dear viewer, let's talk about something that affects almost every family, especially in matters of marriage. If you're a young man or woman dreaming of marriage, or if you're a parent thinking about your child's future, this part of the video is especially made for you. Listen carefully, because what Islam teaches about the role of parents in marriage is full of wisdom, balance, and fairness, something that the world often forgets. In the beautiful and well-balanced system of Islam, parents, especially fathers, are given a position of honor and respect when it comes to their children's marriages. Islam acknowledges their love, their concern, their life experience. After all, which parent does not want the best for their daughter? Which father does not wish to see his little girl happy, safe, and loved in the home of a caring husband? Islam values these feelings deeply. But here is what makes Islam so perfect and just. This parental role is important, but not absolute. It has clear boundaries. Parents are guides, helpers, protectors, but they are not masters or dictators. They cannot ignore the desires, feelings, or dreams of their daughter. Her life is her own, and her marriage cannot happen without her clear willing and joyful consent. Yes, the father or the wali has an honored responsibility to help find a righteous, responsible, and good man for his daughter. The Prophet Muhammad clearly said, "There is no marriage without the permission of the guardian, wali." Abu Dawud 2085, Tirmidhi 1101. This beautiful teaching shows that marriage is not meant to be something secret, hidden, or done in haste without the family's involvement. Islam wants the family to be there, to protect, to guide, to make sure that the young woman is marrying a man who will care for her, respect her, and fulfill her rights as a wife. The father, because of his greater life experience, might see things the young daughter cannot see yet, dangers, traps, or mistakes that could harm her future. But here's the golden point. Islam never allows this guardianship to become a weapon of control. The wali is a guide, not a king, a helper, not a commander. The daughter's voice matters the most. Her consent is not just a polite formality. It is essential, required, and commanded by Allah Himself. No father, no mother, no family member has the right to force her into a marriage against her will. If they do so, that marriage is invalid in the sight of Allah, even if the whole world celebrates it. Islam teaches a gentle and careful balance. The family must think of many important things before suggesting or approving any marriage. Her age and maturity. Is she really ready not only in body, but in mind, heart, and spirit too? Take on the duties of marriage? Can she handle its joys and its challenges? Her education and personal dreams. Will this marriage support her goals in life? Or will it stop her from growing, learning, becoming who she wants to be? Her health and happiness. Will this marriage protect her? Or will it put her under pressure, sadness, or harm? Her free and happy choice. The most important question, does she want this? Is this proposal something her heart accepts freely, without fear, without pressure, without force? Dear viewer, remember this. Islam forbids parents from ignoring these things. No family honor, no culture, no community pressure can erase the rights Allah has given to His daughters. A forced marriage is not just wrong in society, it is invalid in Islam. It is a sin against her dignity, her soul, and her freedom is granted by her Creator. So whether you are a daughter waiting for marriage, or a father searching for the right groom, or a mother dreaming of her child's future, know this truth well. Islam wants both family harmony and individual dignity to be safe, strong, and respected. Thus, this teaching reflects the profound justice and mercy of Islam. Family structure and guidance are honored, but personal freedom and individual consent are equally preserved. Neither the girl's independence nor the parent's wisdom can be neglected. Both must work together in harmony so that the sacred bond of marriage begins on the foundation of mutual trust, love, and peace. Early marriage in Islam, permissible but never compulsory one, of the most misunderstood aspects of Islamic teachings. On marriage often distorted by cultural practices or misinformed opinions is the belief that Islam requires girls to be married off immediately upon reaching puberty. This is simply not true. While Islam does permit early marriage under certain conditions, it does not command or enforce it as an obligation upon every girl the moment she matures physically. The truth is that Islam approaches the matter of marriage with great wisdom, mercy, and flexibility. Early marriage is allowed if, and only if, the girl has reached both physical and mental maturity and herself desires to marry. It is not a duty to rush her into marriage simply because her body shows signs of adulthood. The girl's readiness in mind, emotions, and life circumstances is equally important. A beautiful and clear example of this balanced approach is found in the life of the Prophet Muhammad himself. Despite being the best example for all of humanity, he did not hastily marry off his own daughters the moment they reached puberty. Rather, he waited until appropriate, righteous, and compatible proposals arrived, and only then, when his daughters were prepared in heart and mind, did their marriages take place. There was no panic, no undue haste, no pressure. Their well-being and happiness were prioritized over cultural expectations or societal norms. Islamic scholars throughout the centuries have emphasized this same understanding. They unanimously agree that marriage can and should be delayed in certain cases, such as when the girl wishes to pursue education, develop her personal skills, or when she is mentally or emotionally not ready to take on the responsibilities of married life. Furthermore, if there is any concern for her health, safety, or overall well-being, marriage can be rightfully postponed. This reflects the deeper spirit of Islam: balance, mercy, and care. Islam does not promote unnecessary delays that may lead to fitna, temptation, or hardship, nor does it allow premature, careless pressure that could result in harm or regret. Every individual's situation is different, and Islam provides the space to make thoughtful, wise, and personalized decisions based on real-life circumstances, not rigid, mechanical rules. Therefore, the idea that girls must be hurried into marriage the moment they reach puberty is not from Islam. It is from cultural misunderstandings that do not reflect the mercy and balance of the Sharia. In truth, Islam stands for moderation, neither hasty, harmful marriages nor endless, fearful delays. The focus remains on what is best for the individual girl in terms of her faith, her mental and emotional strength, her life goals, and her overall welfare. Physical and mental readiness. Both are essential for marriage and Islam. In the perfect system of Islam, marriage is not treated as a mere social formality or a biological necessity. It is regarded as a sacred partnership, a lifelong contract that requires not only the physical maturity of the body, but also the readiness of the mind and heart. Islam makes it clear: both physical and mental preparedness are essential conditions for a girl to be considered truly ready for marriage. It is not enough that a girl's body has reached the signs of puberty, such as menstruation or physical development. These biological changes alone do not make her fit for the responsibilities of married life. Alongside this physical growth, she must also attain mental awareness, emotional balance, and intellectual understanding of what marriage truly demands. Marriage in Islam is not simply about living together as husband and wife. It is a relationship built on rights and duties, on mutual care, respect, patience, and teamwork. A married woman is expected to fulfill certain responsibilities towards her husband, her household, and, if Allah wills, future children. These duties require emotional strength, self-control, wisdom in handling disputes, understanding of finances, management of home affairs, and the ability to build a peaceful, loving environment. Without this mental readiness, how can any young girl shoulder such weighty responsibilities? This principle of requiring both physical and mental maturity is beautifully reflected in the Qur'an itself. In Surah An-Nisa 4-6, Allah commands, "And test the orphans until they reach the age of marriage. Then if you perceive in them sound judgment, release their property to them." Notice the two-part condition: physical maturity, the age of marriage, and sound judgment, rushed. The child is not entrusted with wealth and property merely because of their age or bodily development, but because they have shown clear evidence of understanding, careful thought, and the ability to manage important matters wisely. The same principle applies to marriage, which is an even greater trust than property. A girl cannot be pushed into marriage if her mind is not prepared, even if her body shows signs of puberty. To do so would be an injustice, and Islam stands firmly against injustice in any form. Forcing or rushing a mentally unprepared girl into marriage may lead to confusion, suffering, broken relationships, or long-term harm outcomes that the Sharia strictly seeks to prevent. Mental and emotional readiness serves as a protection for her rights, her happiness, and her dignity. It ensures that she enters this sacred bond with understanding, confidence, and strength, not fear, helplessness, or ignorance. Thus, Islam calls for a complete and holistic readiness, the harmony of body, mind, and heart. Only when this balance is achieved does marriage become the blessing, the mercy, and the tranquility that Allah intended it to be. No universal age for marriage, society, culture, and circumstances must be considered one of the most remarkable features of Islamic law is its profound flexibility, its ability to adapt to the vast diversity of human societies, cultures, and time periods. Islam is not a rigid system that imposes a single rule on all people, ignoring their differences in environment, development, and social conditions. Instead, Islam wisely recognizes that what is appropriate and healthy for one society may not be so for another. This is especially true in the matter of marriageable age. In some regions and climates, girls may reach physical and mental maturity at an earlier age, shaped by the demands and customs of their environment. In other places, especially in modern, urban societies, maturity may naturally come later, influenced by extended education, delayed independence, or different cultural expectations. Islam gently allows for these differences rather than imposing a one-size-fits-all rule. Marriage in Islam, a matter of wisdom, not just numbers or rules. Dear viewer, this part of the video is especially important for you, whether you are a curious learner, a thoughtful parent, or a young woman thinking about her future. Please pay close attention, because what you are about to hear might surprise you and clear away many common misunderstandings about marriage in Islam. Some people believe that Islam fixes a specific number like 18, 21, or any other legal age, and says that when you reach this number, you must get married. But Islam is not that simple or mechanical. In fact, some of the greatest scholars in Islamic history, like Imam Abu Hanifa and Imam Malik, whose knowledge and wisdom are respected by millions of Muslims across the world, clearly explained that there is no single, universal age of marriage that fits every Muslim, everywhere, for all time. Why is that? Because people are not the same. Life circumstances change from one place to another. One girl may mature faster, while another needs more time to grow emotionally and mentally. Islam understands this deep human truth. And so these great scholars taught that the real conditions of marriage are based on three unchanging pillars, things that matter far more than just age. To one, physical maturity. The body should be ready for the responsibilities that marriage brings. 2, mental and emotional maturity. The mind should be strong enough to handle the challenges and duties of married life, the decisions, the struggles, the patience. 3, free and willing consent. The girl herself must say yes willingly, happily, and without any pressure or fear. This is her life, her journey, her right. These are the true signs of readiness for marriage in Islam, not the counting of birthdays or the setting of random numbers. But what about today's world, where life has become more complex, more demanding? Should Islam ignore these new realities? Absolutely not. This is the beauty of our faith. It is timeless, yet perfectly suitable for every time, every age, every society. In modern life, many additional factors need to be carefully thought about. A young woman today may wish to finish her education, to gain skills, to build her confidence before stepping into the serious and challenging world of marriage. She may want to prepare herself emotionally, spiritually, and mentally to become not just a wife, but also a strong, fulfilled individual. And this is perfectly right. Islam allows this. In fact, Islam encourages personal growth and strength. Her health, safety, mental peace, and happiness, all these are important pieces of the puzzle. Marriage is not just about having a partner. It's about building a meaningful, lasting, peaceful life together. And if she is not ready physically, emotionally, or mentally, It is better, wiser, and more Islamic to wait rather than rush into marriage for the wrong reasons. Islam, the final and complete way of life sent for all humanity, holds this amazing balance. It does not order that girls be married off as soon as they reach puberty, ignoring their personal development or desires. Nor does it promote the idea that marriage should be delayed without reason, to the point where life's joys and family dreams are wasted. Instead, Islam gives space for careful, thoughtful decisions, made case by case, heart by heart, family by family, with hikmah, wisdom, love, and care. This is why the Sharia, the divine law of Islam, is neither strict and unbending, nor loose and careless. It is a beautiful middle path. It protects the honor, dignity, and rights of women. It keeps families strong. It safeguards society's morals. And above all, it respects the uniqueness of every individual. So, dear viewer, understand this clearly. Islam's teachings on marriage are relevant in every time and place because they respect two great truths: the universality of human nature and the unique, special story of each person's life. No forced age, no blind rule, only thoughtful, wise guidance that makes room for personal circumstances, hopes, dreams, and realities. This is the beauty of Islam, a religion of balance, mercy, and understanding. Dear viewer, by now you've seen that Islam's teachings on marriage are filled with wisdom, balance, and care, not bound by the numbers of this world, but by the true readiness of the mind, heart, and soul. Islam protects both the dignity of the individual and the peace of the family, giving guidance that is timeless, gentle, and fair. If you found this explanation helpful, if it cleared your doubts, or if it opened your mind to the beautiful truth of Islam's approach, then don't keep this knowledge to yourself. Share this video with your friends, your family, and especially with those who may still be confused about this topic. Let's spread this understanding and protect the rights and dignity that Islam gives to every son and daughter. And if you want more such videos that bring the wisdom of Islam into the light on topics like marriage, family, personal growth, and life guidance, then make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and press the bell icon so you don't miss what's coming next. May Allah guide us all to wisdom, hikmah, protect our families, and bless every home with peace, love, and understanding. See you in the next video, inshallah.